Call of Duty, Motorstorm, even Battlefield 3 and Warhawk. These are some of the many games you still can play on PlayStation 3 Online. The PS3 is just simply a console that refuses to die. It seems like every time you check the internet, you're just constantly finding information out. Like more information. You'll have no idea what's going on half the time. You'll just be browsing the web. You'll see something crazy. You'll just find out randomly one day that people are still playing some of these games. PS3 might be one of the best consoles to ever be known to mankind, to be honest with you. There's just really nothing I can say bad about it, especially these days. So sit down and throw the PlayStation 5 controller across the street like it's contaminated with chlamydia. Because it's time to have some fun. Playing online games again. So if you're like myself, you're probably doing everything you can at this point to try and find permanent happiness. And one way you can do that is you can play PlayStation 3 Online, really. Or just really anything from this generation. It feels like as you get older, there's like some type of sea monster inside of your body that just tries to force you to be miserable half the time, and you just have to fight it off. And this is why I'm doing this. Because I'm fighting off the sea monster. Not today. A really good thing about this is you can just simply go into online just from booting up the game. You don't have to change anything around. Settings can stay whatever you had them on. Some games, however, you do need to change your DNS settings around, which is, it's easy. It's not something that's very difficult or something. You just need to try and find out the exact one you need for that specific game. So it is quite simple to still play online. It's not something where it's like this difficult ass setup or something. I just had to go through that when I tried to play 360 again. The only kind of bad thing about this, I guess so. It's really that it'd probably take a Christmas miracle for actual human beings to be on them. There may be quite a few games that are very much alive and well when it comes to online, but just trying to find people is not easy. You have to almost go into some type of thread or something, get some coordination going, try to assemble a group together or something for a specific time, because that might be what it takes for some games. But a lot of the games I played, you could just honestly open it up and join a game right away. Something that is insane and in a good way, we have situations, things that once went away and we were all very sad about, are coming back. I just recently learned, and I'm talking maybe 2 days ago, like I had this video basically prepared to go and everything was done, and then 2 days ago I found this out. Battlefield 3 is making a comeback on PlayStation 3. I saw a video, I'll shout out the video, I forget the exact channel name and everything, but once I find out again, I'll just put it on the screen. The open beta is alive. Like, you can go on it right now if the servers are up, because sometimes, I don't know exactly how it works. It's just one of those things where you do have to change your DNS settings around, and then sometimes the servers might be up. And it's not just the open beta. This is something that is different from the actual full revival, because that is also taking place. We have the chance to play Battlefield 3 again on PlayStation 3. I don't think this is available on 360 either. I was trying to find that out as well. It seemed like that was not happening, or at least now. It might happen eventually maybe, but at least at this point in time, it is not currently on 360. It is only PlayStation 3, and that's it. I'll leave a link in the description, because simply what I'm saying could be just completely stupid and weird and doesn't make any sense. So I'll post a link to where you can find more information out. This is why I'm going back to PlayStation 3 Online in 2026. I don't think I can do it anymore. I can't play Fortnite. I can't play any new Call of Duties. I don't pay any attention to it. I'm tired of going on the internet these days and seeing people basically say it's the best game ever, and then a month later they say it sucks. And how does nobody get sick and tired of hearing that every single year? It's the same thing. I'm doing anything I can to stay away from that information. And Twitter is so dog shit these days. There are specific websites that exist as well, like PlayStation Rewired, where you can find a lot of information out. This basically will tell you which games you can play through their service. or server. What? There's also PlayStation 3 Reborn. I don't know if they have a website. I know they have like a Discord or something. By the way, like if anything is mentioned in this, I'll try to do my best to provide links in the description. The only bad thing, and it kind of is bad, is that some games online for PlayStation 3, I'm not exactly sure the exact amount, but there's games like some of the older Call of Duties where it doesn't save your progress. I was looking into it once. I think if you made your account on PlayStation 3 before 2014, you should be good. But if you made it after, none of your progress will save. It's not every single one, though. So at least there's options to play games where you don't just have to start over in terms of Call of Duty. Because, let's be honest, those are the classics. I don't know if there was anything worse than starting up a Call of Duty from like 2007 to 2012 and have to use those stupid standard classes. The most important thing, which games are still playable? Well, there's a lot. As I mentioned before, you can go to websites like PlayStation Rewired, you can find out information on PlayStation 3 Reborn, and you can play games like Killzone 2, MotorStorm, 1 and Pacific Rift. You can even play SOCOM Confrontation, which I suck at. I'm terrible at a lot of these games, and it's not even that bad to be terrible at them because regardless of how good or bad you are, they are still amazing. MotorStorm Online is harder than a brick-layered bear cave at this point. It is the most impossible game to get good at. Maybe just because everyone else is 10 times better than me. I tried to play that game for a bit, and I lost by maybe football fields every time. That game is probably the most stressful, but yet most fun racing games I've ever played, because it actually makes you feel like you can never succeed sometimes. You'll just be driving along, doing okay. You think you're in a good spot. The car will just flip over and explode. I was playing Tekken 6, and if you want to get your ass kicked, that's a good game to play. Midnight Club Los Angeles is an interesting one because I would have been under the impression that that game was basically never able to be played online again. That's not true. You can play that game again online. Didn't find anyone on it, but you can still have the possibility to do it. There are some package files you have to download for this, but that's just not for many games. This one specifically, though. I still can't believe it at this point. I don't even know if I mentioned this yet, which if I haven't, then I'm very silly. Warhawk exists, and does it only not, or wait, start that again. It doesn't only exist, it is very populated. I'm talking every single time. It's been maybe 3 or 4 times that I just went on the game and just joined right away. Right away, too. You don't have to wait around. You don't have to sit there for people to get on the game at some point. There are a lot of people, I think. That's one of the best multiplayer games ever. There's nothing in that game that is boring. It's constant chaos. It's fun no matter if you're running around and getting destroyed or if you're driving around in a tank, you're in an aircraft or something. There's so many ways to have fun in this game. You don't even have to know what you're doing. I forget like what you even have to do in it because it's actually almost been 20 years since I've played that game. I think that came out in 07. I just was running around and had no idea what I was doing. I was having the time of my life. But that exists. Does anyone remember PlayStation Home? What did I say that for? PlayStation Home is a thing still. And it's not just on PlayStation 3, the console itself. You can play this on RPCS3. This is one where you have to absolutely find a time for people to be on. Although it is definitely still fun just to walk around and experience this once again. There's a lot of games that are still going, obviously, but some of them have really good Discord pages. It's very confusing sometimes, and I'm not very smart, so like half the time I'm like looking around to find information, I can't find it. Now, out of all the ones that are available, like there's many Discord pages for a lot of these games that are still active. I don't think I've seen a better one than the Medal of Honor one. That was amazing. You do have to change your DNS, of course, for this, but it's not a big deal. It's just go into your network settings and then go into internet connection settings. And then the one we're looking for, which is also on the Discord page for this, but this one is miraculous. Like whoever put this Medal of Honor 2010 Discord together is a genius. It's very well put together. I'm not confused. And this game is actually really fun. I was actually very surprised how fun the multiplayer was in this game. I had no idea. I'm such an idiot and have no idea what's going on in this game. The first game I joined, I started shooting my own teammate. It's kind of scary, though. It's scary, but amazing. Scary as in you know what probably is going on when you play a first-person shooter. You might just be moving along kind of quietly. Out of nowhere, someone shoots you. The noises are so loud in your headphones. You jump back. You almost soil your pants when you play this online mode. That's how you know it's good. Honestly, I'd go back and play this one consistently. I would. It just seems like not that many people are on a lot of the time, which is unfortunate. I was running around actually not getting my ass kicked. Imagine that. Now, sometimes you have to go from a game you're like doing okay at to a game you have no idea what's going on in. Lost Planet 2 is currently still active. I just randomly found a lobby during the weekday in the afternoon. So I'm imagining it's still pretty active. I don't know, maybe. I would assume that on like the weekends, maybe it's more populated, but there was like 5 people, I think, in the lobby I was in. I didn't even know how to sprint. That was not as fun, or even close to it. I actually think I tried to play this on RPCS3 earlier this year. Is that still a thing? Now, a lot of the time, you don't have to change any settings or anything. You can just go right into it. You don't even have to change any, like, DNS settings around or anything like that. However, there are some games you have to kind of mess with it. In Call of Duty Black Ops 2, you have to not do what you should do. Basically, if you just try to boot up the game when you're logged into your PSN account, it will freeze. But there is a fix. You have to sign out of your PSN account before we log into the game. Or before we go... What? Before we launch the game. But once you do that, you can just go right into the online part of it, and then you have to go actually into a private match. I think you can maybe go in Zombies too. I just went into a private match. I know that one works. You just go into a private match and then load into it, I think. And then once you do that, you just leave. You just have to sign back into your PSN account, obviously, once you get back to like the multiplayer main menu. If you have Crysis 2 and you want to play that, which I wasn't even able to find anybody on that game, to be honest with you, but I'm sure people do still play because I have seen videos on YouTube where people still are playing that. Basically what I've seen, and this is knowledge that I've witnessed from a YouTube video on the internet, you have to go into your save game utility and delete the Crysis 2 save every time. There will be this screen that appears that will tell you to sign into this account, Crysis 2 account or something, and once you get to this page, you have to wait exactly 60 seconds before you can click skip. And then everything is good to go and you can just join a game after that if people are on. Or I guess you can still go into like a private match and everything, but that's how you get to the online part. I'm not exactly sure how many games you have to do this for. Those were the 2 that I knew you had to do something before you actually got on the game. It's worth doing this to get on these games again, because at this point in time, PlayStation 3 Online is so amazing that I would be willing to wait a long time to get on these games, depending on what it is. I think out of every game I played, and there was a lot, obviously I went back and played some of the Call of Duties. You just have to do that. It's just one of those things that's almost necessary. Blur. That game is amazing. That is one of the best racing games to play online at this point. I really feel that way. It is very fun to play that game too, and sometimes I even was able to not finish last. So it makes me feel like playing it is not a waste of time. I tried to play games like Split Second. No one was on it. I tried to play games like Sniper Ghost Warrior 2. Rage. Nobody was on. But you still can get into the online part of the game, which is something where I didn't know existed. There's probably a lot more, and I can't even imagine. Maybe there's, I don't know. I'm just guessing over here. I'm sure I'm going to go on the internet like 5 minutes after this and find out about another game that's coming back. You can play games like Fight Night Champion. I didn't find anybody on that. If it has something to do with EA, it's a nightmare. Or if you don't have like an EA account, God, that's annoying. Like, you'll legitimately know your information for your account. It will still tell you it's wrong. It's not even just the games either. PlayStation Store. Forgot the word the. It's kind of interesting because earlier this year I was able to somehow access, I don't even remember how I did it. I was able to get on one of the early builds, one of the legacy PlayStation stores, and that one is 10 times better than what they changed it to. It didn't really have like a lot of information loading on the screen. It was just kind of the template of what it looked like and everything. But just the fact that the PlayStation 3 store is still alive. This generation has some incredible online games. I'm glad I grew up in this era because honestly, if I was older, if I had like real life problems or something, and I wasn't able to experience some of these games from the 7th generation in their prime, like I wasn't able to just go home from school, ignore my homework. I'd have a math test the next day. Homework was due. That was not getting done. That was on the cupboard, never to be touched. Call of Duty 4 was being played until 10th Prestige 55 was conquered. That's it. After just playing some of these again, man, and seeing what we have now, going on Fortnite, I don't do that often. I probably haven't done that in forever at this point, but you go on that game and you see this like gigantic banana with Wolverine claws on it. I don't want to run around and shoot people as a giant banana. I only want to play games from this generation online. GTA 6 releases, I'm playing the story. And when I'm done that, the game is being frisbeed across the street. My neighbor across the street will be bringing out his green bin. This guy came out like a week ago, or whenever, I don't know when it was maybe longer than that. This guy came down his driveway. I witnessed it. I don't even know how I saw this. I think I was just naturally looking out the window or something. This guy walks down his driveway, pours this thing out of his green bin onto the street. It looked like a carcass animal. A carcassed animal, it looked like. And this guy pours it onto the curb, basically, and walks away. Look out for the GTA 6 disc. It'd be very interesting if he knew what I looked like and then somehow saw this video on the internet and was like, what the hell is this guy doing? There's something about the PlayStation 3 that just brings out some different feeling inside. It's hard to explain. I don't know. It's just you play other consoles and everything. And yeah, they are fun. 360, GameCube. Those are fun. Those are really fun, actually. Those are very fun consoles to play, but something about just going on PlayStation 3 again is different, man. Especially playing online again. Like, this is just... What is better than online from the 7th generation? I don't even care what console it is. You play any game from this generation, it's like, wow. Where did some of this go? God, I could sit there and play some of these PS3 games for hours and hours and not get bored. Even ones I've played 10 times at this point. PlayStation 3 is alive. Online is active. I hope it goes nowhere. I hope more games maybe at some point maybe return. If like online disappears somehow for PlayStation 3 at some point, that's going to be that's going to be a bad day. Very bad. You all have a very nice evening.